Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of Marvelous Videos. Today we have something extra special in store for all the horror fans out there. Let's talk about a classic film franchise, Hellraiser. There are so many kinds of creatures that we meet in the Hellraiser universe, from the likes of Pinhead and Pistonhead to even someone we know as the Weeper. So in today's video, we're going to meet one such creature whose fate in the Hellraiser universe did not last very long, Spike. So get ready, we're about to explore the origins of the Cenobite Spike and what happened to him. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Origin of Spike. Since you're all Hellraiser fans, I'm sure you know all about creatures known as Cenobites. But let me jog your memory. The creatures whom we call Cenobites were once humans. Later, upon the decision of the god of hell, Leviathan, they were transformed and remade by the engineer in a transformation chamber. What essentially happens is that they're mutilated, operated upon, and restructured in individual ways to turn them into Cenobites. That's why each Cenobite is different. Spike is one such Cenobite in the world of Hellraiser. But what is his story? Well, as a human, Spike was not one of the good guys. He used to work as a railroad worker. During his work hours, he seemed like quite the nice guy, and was even respected by his coworkers for his hard work. But the real side of Spike only came out after work hours, and no one knew about it. Spike would involve himself in a heinous crime as a pastime after work. He would force himself upon little girls, rape them, and as a kick of enjoyment, stab them using railroad spikes. Now, one day, out of the blue, Spike came across the lament configuration. He used his skills and quickly solved it. This ended up in his meeting with Pinhead, who decided on his future from that point on. Pinhead thought it best for him to turn into a Cenobite since he had the capabilities of one, so he sent Spike to hell to be transformed by the engineer. That's how Spike became a Cenobite, and his evil use of the railroad spikes led to his Cenobite name. Although an interesting fact about his character is before he got the name Spike, he was actually named Stilt Cenobite. Spike's role in the Hellraiser franchise. Initially, Spike was supposed to appear in the 7th film in the franchise known as Hellraiser Deader. It was released in 2005 and was directed by Rick Boda, with the original script written by Neil Marshall Stevens. Now, if you remember watching Hellraiser Deader, then you'll know that there was no such character as Spike. Well, this is because after his scenes had already been filmed, the director decided to delete him from the final cut of the movie. He was played by Snowy Highfield, the same person who also played the character of Bound 2, the male version of the Bound Cenobite. During the making of the 8th film, Hellraiser, Hellworld, Spike was considered as one of the Cenobites to make an appearance. But sadly, once again, we didn't get to see him. Even though Spike is a deleted Cenobite, he has become quite famous among the fans to the point where he appears in a few fan films. We owe all the thanks for his character design to this. In fact, there are also a couple of his action figures that were sold. He also appears as one of Pinhead's Cenobites in a game called Terror Dome, the game. Apart from this, his scenes from the Deader are included in the special features list of the movie. Appearance of Spike. One thing is obvious, since he's a Cenobite, the engineer was obviously not going to make him pretty. Well, due to his crimes revolving around the use of railroad spikes, he was remade with a huge golden spike through his face. So you can't see his eyes, nose, or lips, because in place of his facial features, there's a giant spike that's stuck on his head. The skin of his face and head seems to have been cut out and pulled back and pinned to the edges of his skull. He also wears a metal helmet, which has been fitted and pinned to his skull, but it seems to have a tiny opening in the middle. Through this opening, we can see a part of Spike's skull, which appears cracked. Clearly, the engineer didn't go easy on him. His outfit is a leather-bound suit that looks quite similar to the one Pinhead wears, and it covers his entire body. Due to such an appearance, it looks like Spike has been stripped of all his sensory abilities. Some fans believe that Engineer did this on purpose because he used to take pleasure in watching the suffering of his victims as humans. But there's a possibility that Spike is able to somehow make use of his missing senses and function in the same manner that Pistonhead functions, because even he has several copper pistons that are constantly piercing his skull and brain. After all, what good would a Cenobite be to Leviathan if he couldn't do his job of terrorizing humans in the labyrinth, right? Marvelous verdict. Well folks, with that, we come to the end of yet another marvelous video. I know we don't get to see Spike in the movies to our satisfaction, but regardless of that, he's still a part of the Hellraiser universe. When we talk about Cenobites, we can't leave him out because his backstory has been created quite perfectly to fit his future life in the labyrinth. So, what is something about Spike that you like the most? Is he your favorite Cenobite from the labyrinth, or is there someone else? And what other characters from the Hellraiser universe would you like for us to explore? Let us know all about it in the comments down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. It means the world to us when you help us grow. Until next time guys, it's goodbye, have a good one.